You ever get that feeling, like when you're staring at a blank page, trying to cram your entire career onto a single sheet of paper?
For sure.
Creating a resume can feel like a daunting task.
It really can.
Almost like writing a scientific paper.
Yeah. It's funny you say that,
Right.
because that's precisely what we're diving into today.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We've got some fascinating research and articles
Okay.
all about how AI can help us craft resumes.
Okay, so AI and resumes.
Yes.
To be honest, I've always been a little skeptical.
Okay.
It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
I understand your skepticism,
Yeah.
but I think you'll be surprised by how AI can be used as a tool,
Okay.
not to write the resume for you,
Right.
but to bring that scientific approach you mentioned.
Right.
AI can help us analyze job descriptions,
Uh-huh.
suggest powerful content,
Okay.
and even optimize for those dreaded applicant tracking systems.
So no robots stealing our jobs just yet.
Not quite.
Okay.
But seriously, it all starts with natural language processing,
Okay.
or NLP for short.
NLP.
Yes.
Okay. But how does NLP actually help with resumes?
Well, AI tools use NLP to dissect job descriptions
Okay.
and pinpoint those crucial keywords that employers are looking for.
Uh-huh.
Then you can use this information to strategically weave those keywords into your resume.
So it's like AI is giving us a cheat sheet for each job we apply to.
In a way, yes.
Okay.
By understanding the specific language employers use, you can tailor your resume to better align with their expectations.
Okay.
For example, if a job description emphasizes leadership and project management,
Right.
you can make sure to showcase your experience in those areas using the exact same wording.
That makes sense.
Yes,
It's all about speaking the same language.
it is.
But I've also heard about machine learning being used in this whole AI resume thing.
Right.
Is that just a fancy buzzword, or is there something more to it?
Machine learning, or ML, takes things a step further.
Okay.
AI tools that use ML have been trained on massive data sets of successful resumes.
Wow.
They've essentially learned what works and what doesn't.
Okay.
So they can offer suggestions on content and formatting that statistically increase your chances of getting noticed.
So it's like having a resume expert who's analyzed thousands of resumes
Yeah,
and knows all the secret tricks.
think of it like this.
Okay.
You know those online tools that suggest products
Yeah.
based on your past purchases?
Mm-hmm.
Well, AI resume tools do something similar,
Mm-hmm.
but for your skills and experience.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
But wait, there's another AI acronym flipping around out there.
Okay.
What about natural language generation?
Okay.
Or NLG?
Yes.
That sounds like AI is actually writing the resume for us.
It can feel that way.
Yeah.
But NLG is more like a superpowered writing assistant.
Okay.
It's particularly useful for crafting professional summaries
Uh-huh.
and job descriptions,
Okay.
ensuring that the language is polished, professional, and flows well.
Okay, so it's not writing the entire resume,
Right.
but it can help us create some of the most important parts.
Precisely.
Okay.
NLG can take those dry bullet points we often use to describe our jobs and transform them into compelling achievement statements that showcase our skills and accomplishments.
So it's kind of like having an editor who can instantly polish up our writing.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
It can save you a lot of time
Okay.
and ensure that your resume is presented in the most professional way possible.
This all sounds pretty impressive.
It is.
It's really starting to feel like that scientific approach we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
We're using data
Yes.
analysis and AI to create a more effective resume.
Exactly.
Wow.
Think of it like applying the scientific method to your job search.
Okay.
We gather our data, analyze it,
Okay.
form a hypothesis, a resume,
Yeah.
test it out, apply for jobs, and then refine our approach based on the results.
I love that analogy.
Good one.
So if we're taking this scientific method approach to our resumes,
Yes.
what's the first step?
Well,
Where do we even begin?
just like any scientific endeavor,
Okay.
it all starts with data collection.
Okay.
We need to gather all the essential information about your career,
Okay.
your personal details,
Uh-huh.
work experience,
Right.
education skills,
Yeah.
any publications,
Yeah.
and even optional references.
And this is where online professional profiles like
Yes.
LinkedIn and ResearchGate come in handy, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They can be invaluable resources for pulling together your information quickly and efficiently.
Okay.
They also provide a platform to showcase your skills
Right.
and connect with potential employers.
And don't forget, those online profiles are also great for showcasing quantifiable achievements.
Yes, they are.
Numbers really do speak volumes when it comes to resumes.
They do.
I think that's a really good tip.
It is.
So we got to try to remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever possible.
Yeah.
Try to quantify your accomplishments.
Okay.
Instead of simply saying you improved sales.
Right.
Try saying something like, increased sales by 15% in one quarter.
Okay.
That kind of specific data really catches the eye.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our data all organized and ready to go.
Okay.
What's the next step in this scientific resume building process?
Now comes the exciting part.
Okay.
We need to choose the right AI tools for the job.
Okay.
There are some fantastic platforms out there,
Okay.
like Kickerhume, Zeti, Andean, and Resume.io.
Okay.
They offer a range of features,
Uh-huh.
from smart templates to content suggestions,
Right.
and even ATS optimization.
And what about those powerful language models like Gemini?
Yes.
I've heard they can be real game changers when it comes to generating content.
You are absolutely right.
Yeah.
Language models are rapidly evolving
Yeah.
and offering some incredible possibilities.
Yeah.
For example, you can use them to rewrite your job descriptions in a more compelling way. Fine-tune your wording to match the tone of the company you're applying to,
Okay.
and even brainstorm different ways to frame your achievements.
It sounds like we have a whole arsenal of AI tools at our disposal.
We do.
But I'm a little curious about those text analysis tools you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
How do they fit into this process?
Text analysis tools can be incredibly helpful for pinpointing those crucial keywords in job descriptions. They can analyze the text and highlight the most frequently used terms,
Right.
giving you valuable insights into the specific skills and experience
Okay.
that employers are prioritizing.
So it's like having a secret decoder ring for job descriptions.
Exactly.
I like that takes the guesswork out of it.
It does.
Okay, so we've gathered our data.
Yeah.
We've got our AI tools ready to go.
Okay.
Now it's time to actually start building this AI-powered resume.
Yes.
Where do we begin?
First impressions matter, right?
Yeah.
So let's start with choosing a professional template
Okay.
that's appropriate for your industry.
Uh-huh.
Many of the AI tools offer a great selection to choose from.
Okay, and then we unleash the power of AI content generation.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is where we input our information and let the AI work its magic,
Okay.
suggesting content for different sections of the resume.
But it's not as simple as just hitting generate and calling it a day, right?
Correct.
We still need to use our brains
Yeah.
to make sure everything is accurate
Absolutely.
and reflects our unique experiences.
Well, AI can provide a fantastic starting point
okay.
and save you a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Human review and editing are essential.
Yeah.
It's all about collaboration between you and the AI.
So it's like having a brainstorming partner
Exactly.
who can offer suggestions
Yeah.
and help us think outside the box.
Precisely.
Okay, cool.
And one of the key areas where AI can really shine
Okay.
is in ATS optimization.
Right.
Something we briefly touched upon earlier.
Ah, yes, those infamous applicant tracking systems.
Yes.
I've heard they can be a real headache for job seekers.
They can.
Can you explain a bit more about what they are
I can.
and how AI can help us navigate them?
Applicant tracking systems,
Yeah.
or ATS for short,
Right?
are software programs used by many companies to filter resumes
Okay.
before a human ever sees them.
Wow. Okay.
They're designed to scan resumes for specific keywords and formatting.
Mm-hmm.
This means that even if your resume is amazing,
Right.
it could get rejected if it doesn't contain the right keywords,
Okay.
or if the formatting is messed up.
So it's like having a robot gatekeeper deciding who gets in and who doesn't.
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, man, that's tough.
It is.
But this is where AI comes in.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
AI-powered resume builders can help you optimize your resume
Okay.
to make sure it gets past these digital gatekeepers.
Okay, so how does AI actually help with ATS optimization?
Okay.
Does it sprinkle magic fairy dust on our resumes?
Not quite fairy dust,
Okay.
but close.
Okay.
AI tools can analyze job descriptions and identify the most relevant keywords to include in your resume.
Okay.
They can also make sure your formatting is ATS-friendly
Right.
so that your resume can be easily read and understood by the software.
So it's like having a secret decoder ring for the ATS.
Exactly.
I like that.
It gives you a huge advantage
Okay.
in getting your resume seen by human eyes.
Okay. I have to admit, this is all starting to sound pretty impressive.
It is impressive.
We've talked about NLP, machine learning, NLG, and now ATS optimization.
Yes.
It's a lot to take in.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
But don't worry.
Okay.
We'll break it all down.
Okay.
And make sure you have a solid understanding of how to use these AI tools effectively.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome back. I'm still trying to wrap my head around all these AI tools and acronyms. It's amazing how much technology has changed the job search process.
It really is. But remember, AI is just a tool.
Yeah.
The real magic happens when we combine its capabilities with our own human ingenuity and creativity.
Okay, that's a great point. So we've gathered our data, we've chosen our AI-powered tools, and we started crafting our content. What's the next step in this scientific resume building journey?
Validation.
Validation, okay.
Even with all this AI assistance, it's crucial to make sure our work is accurate, compelling, and truly reflects who we are. Think of it like the peer review process in science before a scientific paper is published. It's carefully reviewed by other experts in the field.
So you're saying we need to get some feedback on our AI-powered resumes before sending them out into the world?
Absolutely. A fresh pair of eyes can catch things we might have missed, like typos, inconsistencies, or even just areas where the wording could be stronger.
That makes sense. But where do we find these expert reviewers? Do we need to hire a professional resume writer?
Not necessarily start with your network. Do you have colleagues, mentors, or friends who work in your field or have experience with hiring?
Yeah.
They can provide valuable insights and help you tailor your resume to specific companies or roles.
That's a great tip. I hadn't thought about tapping into my network for resume feedback. But what about those applicant tracking systems we talked about earlier? Is there any way to make sure our resumes are actually getting past those robot gatekeepers?
You're thinking like a true scientist now, always testing your hypothesis.
Gotta make sure.
And the answer is yes. There are online tools that can simulate the ATS process. These tools scan your resume for keywords, formatting issues, and other red flags that could cause it to be rejected by an ATS.
So it's like a test run for our resumes before we submit them to real companies?
Exactly. It's like doing a trial run in the lab before conducting the main experiment. By using these ATS testing tools, you can make sure your resume is optimized for the specific companies you're targeting.
Okay, so we've collected our data, we've drafted our content, we've optimized for ATS, and we've validated our work. What's the next step? Are we finally ready to unleash our AI-powered resumes upon the world?
Almost. We've done the hard work, the research, the experimentation, and now it's time to present our findings. Think of your resume as a scientific article, just like a well-written paper. Your resume needs to be clear, concise, and logically structured.
So we're moving from the lab to the presentation hall. What are some key things to keep in mind when presenting our scientific findings to potential employers?
First and foremost, clarity. Your resume should be easy to read, free of jargon, and organized in a way that makes sense to the reader. Use clear headings, bullet points, and concise language. Remember, recruiters and hiring managers often have to sift through hundreds of resumes, so make yours easy to digest.
That's a good point. We want to make it as easy as possible for them to see our brilliance.
Exactly. And speaking of brilliance, don't forget to highlight those quantifiable data points we talked about earlier. Concrete examples and numbers really help showcase your achievements and make your claims more credible.
It's like backing up our scientific findings with solid data and evidence.
Precisely. And just like a scientific paper might include references to support its claims, your resume can include optional references as well. This gives potential employers the opportunity to verify your skills and experience with previous supervisors or colleagues.
So it's like adding a bibliography to our resume to show that we're not just making things up.
Exactly. It adds another layer of credibility to your scientific presentation.
Okay, I'm really starting to see the parallels between crafting a resume and writing a scientific paper. But let's shift gears a bit and talk about something we haven't discussed much yet, storytelling.
Yes, storytelling is a crucial aspect of creating a compelling resume, and AI can play a role here as well. Remember that thought-provoking question I left you with in part 1. If your resume were a scientific article, what's the most compelling finding or conclusion you want to highlight?
You're right. We need to go beyond just listing our skills and experiences. We need to craft a narrative that captivates the reader and makes them want to learn more. But how can AI help us with this?
AI tools can analyze your work history, identify patterns and trends, and even suggest key themes or accomplishments to highlight in your narrative. For example, if you've consistently exceeded sales targets in every role you've held, AI might suggest framing your narrative around your proven ability to drive revenue growth.
So it's like having an AI assistant who can help us unearth those hidden gems in our career history.
Exactly. And once you've identified those key themes, AI can help you craft compelling language to bring them to life, for example. Instead of simply stating, managed a team of 10 employees, you could use AI to generate a more impactful phrase like, led a high-performing team of 10 to achieve record-breaking results.
That's a great example. It's amazing how AI can help us transform those dry bullet points into compelling snippets of storytelling.
It really is. And remember, storytelling is all about engaging your audience and making them want to learn more. Think about the last time you were captivated by a good story. What made it so compelling?
It probably had a strong hook, vivid descriptions, relatable characters, and maybe even a bit of suspense or drama.
Exactly. We can apply those same storytelling principles to our resumes. Start with a strong opening statement that grabs the reader's attention. Use vivid language to describe your accomplishments and paint a picture of your skills and experience.
And don't forget to highlight the human element. We want to showcase our personality and make ourselves relatable to potential employers.
You're right, people connect with stories, and a well-crafted resume can help you stand out from the crowd and make a lasting impression.
This is all incredibly helpful. But I'm wondering how we can ensure our resume stories are not only compelling, but also relevant to the specific jobs we're applying for. We don't want to sound like we're telling the same generic story to every employer.
That's where the power of AI-driven customization comes in, as we touched upon earlier. AI tools can analyze job descriptions and identify the key skills and experiences employers are seeking.
And then we can use that information to tailor our resume narratives to specifically address those requirements.
Precisely. It's about aligning our stories with the needs and expectations of each potential employer.
So it's like having an AI matchmaker who helps us connect our unique experiences with the right opportunities.
That's a great way to put it. AI can be an incredible ally in helping us navigate the often complex and competitive job market.
But even with the assistance of AI, it's important to remember that we are the authors of our own stories. AI is a tool to enhance our human capabilities, not to replace our creativity and judgment.
Well said. We need to use AI strategically and ethically, ensuring that our resumes reflect our authentic selves and our genuine aspirations.
This has been an incredibly insightful discussion.
Wow.
So far, we've covered a lot of ground, from understanding the basics of AI to exploring its potential for crafting compelling resumes. But I'm sure our listeners are eager to hear about some specific AI tools they can start using today.
You're right. Let's get practical. In addition to the AI resume builders we mentioned earlier, there are some fantastic resources like Grammarly, WordTune, and JobScan that can be incredibly helpful for refining your language and optimizing your resume for ATS.
I've heard of Grammarly. It's like having a personal proofreader who catches all those pesky typos and grammar errors.
Exactly. Grammarly is a great tool for ensuring that your resume is error-free and easy to read. And then there's WordTune, which takes things a step further by suggesting ways to rephrase your sentences to make them more clear, concise, and impactful.
So it's like having a writing coach who helps us fine-tune our language and make our resumes sing?
Precisely. And finally, there's JobScan, which we mentioned earlier. It's a fantastic tool for optimizing your resume for those all-important applicant tracking systems. It can analyze your resume and compare it to job descriptions to make sure you're using the right keywords and formatting.
So it's like having an AI expert who knows all the secrets to getting past those robot gatekeepers?
Exactly. By using these tools in conjunction with the strategies we've discussed today, you can create a resume that not only showcases your skills and experience, but also gets noticed by the right people.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into AI-powered resumes.
We've covered a lot of ground, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
From understanding the science behind these tools to crafting compelling narratives.
And just before the break, we even started talking about
Yeah.
specific AI tools like Grammarly,
Yeah.
WordTune,
Yeah.
and JobScan.
It's like having a whole team of experts in your corner,
Right.
ready to help you polish your resume to perfection.
But with all these amazing AI tools at our fingertips,
Yes.
how do we actually use them effectively?
Good question.
Where do we even begin?
It can feel overwhelming. I agree.
Yeah.
It's like walking into a well-equipped lab,
Uh-huh.
but not knowing which instruments to use.
Exactly. So let's break it down step by step.
Okay.
Let's say I'm starting with a blank page.
Okay.
And I'm ready to embrace the power of AI.
Okay.
What's my first move?
Your first move is to gather your data,
Okay.
all the raw material of your career journey.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it as collecting specimens
Okay.
for your scientific study.
Okay, so we're back to data collection.
We are
We talked about this earlier, but can you remind us what kind of information we need to gather?
absolutely, you'll want to compile your work experience,
Okay.
highlighting key accomplishments, skills projects, and any quantifiable results.
Okay.
Don't forget your education,
Right.
certifications, volunteer work,
Okay.
and even hobbies that demonstrate relevant skills.
So basically everything in the kitchen sink.
Pretty much.
But seriously, it sounds like we need to be as detailed as possible in this stage.
The more detail you provide,
Okay.
the better the AI tools can analyze your experience
Uh-huh.
and suggest relevant content.
Okay.
Think of it as feeding your AI assistant a rich data set.
Okay. Data collected, what's next?
Yeah.
Do we just dump it all into an AI resume builder and hope for the best?
Not quite.
Okay.
That's like throwing all your lab equipment
Yeah.
into a centrifuge and hoping something useful emerges.
Okay.
This is where your human judgment comes in. Choose an AI resume builder that resonates with you and offers the features you're looking for.
So we need to be discerning scientists.
Yes.
Carefully selecting the right tools for our experiment.
Precisely explore the options we discussed earlier.
Okay.
Kick Resume, Zeti Enhance V, and Resume.io.
Right.
Each has its strengths and weaknesses.
Uh-huh.
So it's worth trying out a few to see which one fits your style and needs.
Great point. It's like trying out different lab techniques
Exactly.
to see which one yields the most promising results.
Once you've chosen your tool,
Okay.
you can start inputting your data.
Mm-hmm.
Most AI resume builders have intuitive interfaces
Okay.
that guide you through the process.
So it's not as intimidating as it sounds?
No, not at all.
Okay.
These tools are designed to be user-friendly.
Right.
Think of them as your lab assistants,
Uh-huh.
ready to help you every step of the way.
Okay. Data entered. Now what?
Right.
Do we just hit the magic generate resume button?
Well, you could.
Okay.
But remember, AI is a tool, not a replacement for your own judgment and creativity.
Right.
This is where the real collaboration begins.
So we need to work hand in hand with our AI assistant,
Exactly.
guiding it and making sure the output aligns with our vision.
Review the suggestions carefully,
Okay.
tweak the wording,
Mm-hmm.
add your own personal touch.
Okay.
Remember, this is your story,
Right.
your scientific breakthrough.
Yeah.
The AI is there to help you present it in the most compelling way.
This is where those other tools like Grammarly and WordTune come in handy, right?
Yes.
To help us fine-tune the language and make sure it's error-free.
Grammarly can be your proofreader,
Right.
catching typos and grammatical errors.
Okay.
WordTune can act as your writing coach,
Uh-huh.
suggesting more impactful word choices
Okay.
and sentence structures.
And what about JobScan? When do we bring that into the mix?
JobScan is your secret weapon
Okay.
for conquering those applicant tracking systems.
Right.
Once you have a draft you're happy with,
Uh-huh.
run it through JobScan to make sure it's optimized
Okay.
for the specific companies you're targeting.
So it's like giving our resume a final polish before sending it out into the world.
Exactly. By using these tools strategically,
Yeah.
you can create a resume that's not only visually appealing and well-written,
Okay.
but also tailored to the specific requirements of each job you apply for.
This is all starting to make sense now.
It is.
But I have to admit, there's still a part of me that's a little hesitant
Okay.
to rely on AI for something as important as my resume.
I understand your hesitation.
Yeah.
It's natural to feel a bit apprehensive about new technology,
Right.
especially when it comes to something as personal as your career.
It's like entrusting a robot with a delicate experiment.
Yeah.
What if it messes things up?
Remember, you're not handing over complete control.
Okay.
You're the scientist, the one guiding the experiment.
Right.
The AI is simply your assistant,
Okay.
providing you with data insights and suggestions. Ultimately, the final decisions are yours.
That's a reassuring way to think about it. It's a partnership, not a takeover.
Exactly. And just like any good partnership,
Yeah.
it takes time to build trust and learn how to work together effectively.
So what's the best way to approach this partnership with AI?
Okay.
Do you have any tips for someone who's just starting out?
My advice is to approach it with a sense of curiosity and experimentation.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to try out different AI tools, explore various resume templates,
Right.
and play around with different storytelling approaches.
Okay.
You might be surprised by what you discover.
It's like conducting a series of mini experiments in the lab
It is.
to find the most effective formula.
Precisely. And as you gain more experience,
Yeah.
you'll develop a better understanding of which AI tools work best for you
Right.
and how to leverage their strengths to create a resume that truly stands out.
So it's a journey of learning and discovery, just like any scientific pursuit.
Exactly. And remember, the job search process can be challenging.
Yeah.
But with the right tools and mindset,
Yeah.
you can achieve your career aspirations.
Well, I think we've covered just about everything there is to know about AI-powered resumes.
I think so too.
From the science behind the tools to the art of storytelling, we've explored it all.
It's been a fascinating journey.
It really has.
And I hope our listeners feel empowered to embrace these tools and strategies to elevate their own job search efforts.
I know I've learned a lot from this deep dive. I'm feeling much more confident about using AI to craft a compelling and effective resume.
That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
Remember, the ultimate goal is to create a resume that not only gets you noticed,
Uh-huh.
but also helps you land a job where you can truly thrive.
A job that aligns with our passions, values, and long-term career goals.
Exactly. So go forth and experiment, and may your AI-powered resumes lead you to fulfilling and rewarding careers.
That's a wrap on our deep dive into AI-powered resumes. Thank you for joining us, and best of luck in your job search endeavors.